Look at what I'm rocking.
I be on my grind. I got a pocket full of dimes. Look at all I'm rocking. I be on my grind.
So I've been checking you out, Miss Lady.
Yeah, it's kind of early for me just because I was up late last night.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. So you've got a lot going on. I had a chance to heard lots of your music, which is great. So I want to start off by just, a little bit of your background. So you're from New York City.
I'm from New York, born and raised, Manhattan, Hell's Kitchen, and the Bronx.
Yeah. Okay. So what's it like being in L.A.?
It's definitely a change because all my family and my friends were back home when I came here. So it was a big adjustment for me. I had to learn how to drive. But it's really been really cool, especially with the weather. Literally, like, being able to go outside without having to wear a bubble coat and gloves and scarf is just... The weather changes your mood. You know what I mean? Like, so you wake up and it's sunny, you're just ready to work. You wake up and it's freezing, you just want to lay in bed.
That's so true, so true. So tell me about, how did you end up in L.A.? I mean, I know you started out dancing, and some things like that. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, honestly, it was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing for me. At the time, I was singing backup for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I got to perform with Steven Tyler and Joe Walsh from the Eagles, and I was getting jobs where I could save some money. And I met a girl that was on the tour also, and she was living out in Cali, and she's like, yeah, you can stay on my couch until you figure things out. So I just did. I bought a one-way ticket to Cali. And
wow.
I didn't even have a car. Like, I just stayed on her couch, and I kind of figured things out. And then, my mom gave me so much shit for it. Sorry. No, my mom, she was like, what are you doing? Like, you don't even have a job or anything. And I was just like, no, I feel like I need to be here.
Wow. So what was it like working with Steven Tyler?
Oh, that was crazy. He was so talented. He's a legend. And he walks into a room and he's just like, it's him. He has just that energy.
Absolutely. So I know that your background is definitely that of a, creative soul, and I know that, the road is a little tricky. So how did you end up working with Wiz Khalifa?
Well, I actually met Wiz about 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the same manager now, but at the time, I was just a backup dancer for a rapper that was signed to Universal. And my now manager, Benji Grinberg, he was managing this rapper, and we sat next to each other on the plane. And I played him my music because I had some music at the time. It wasn't that great, but there was a couple of good songs on there. And he liked it. He asked me if I wrote music. And then he told me that he had this artist, Wiz Khalifa, out of Pittsburgh, and wanted to know if I would write some hooks for him. And I had no idea who Wiz was. Wiz, had just, I think, graduated high school or something. And so it was just, okay, sure, I'll write some hooks for him. And I wrote some hooks, and I would send them to Wiz, and Wiz would like them, and I would record them. And then we hadn't even met yet, and I was already, on a couple of the songs at the time. And then I finally met him in New York. He had a show, and it was really cool. It's like, I don't know, we clicked right away. He's a really, really cool person.
Awesome. So is Vali your real name?
No, my name is Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah, my middle name is Valentina, and my last name is Porter. And Vali is just like a nickname. Mm-hmm.
Cute. So one thing I definitely like about you is your style. It's very much, it's really no category to put it in, which is great. So, you know, you have this cuteness about you, but you're still really edgy. You know, you're like a edgy pinup girl.
Yeah.
So what, you know, is your style your own, or do you have some inspiration in that area?
I definitely have inspiration, but I do kind of, you know, like what I like. My style has changed a lot, too. When I first got to Cali, like, I realized I could wear shorts and skirts all the time, and that just got me so happy, because in New York, you know, we always got to wear pants. So I like the bright colors, you know, I did all that. And then when I decided I wanted to color my hair pink, which was just kind of like a spur of the moment, like, decision. I just decided, you know what, I just want to have pink hair, you know. Then I had to kind of tone down my colors that I wore, just because when your hair is pink, you can't really wear every color of the rainbow, you know.
Very true.
So then I started looking at, I've always been fascinated by classic fashion, 50s, 40s, 60s. Mm-hmm. And everything was very black and white, pretty simple. So I kind of blended that in with, you know, what I like. So I do look at a lot of old-fashioned icons, like Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, I love old Hollywood. It's classic, so it's so timeless.
Do you have any favorite designers?
Ooh, it depends on for what. I love Jeffrey Campbell shoes. So for shoe-wise, I'm like a big Jeffrey Campbell fan. Out here, there's a store called Joy Rich that has a lot of really funky stuff. I love, what is that store? I'm trying to think. Melrose. Are you from Cali or are you from New York?
I'm actually in New York.
Kind of jealous just because I miss New York so much. But yeah, out here we have something called Melrose, and they have a lot of vintage shops. I like going in the vintage shops because I feel like you find things, even if it's, I love BCBG, and it's cool sometimes going into these shops because you'll find, you know, name brand things that are old. So it's even cooler to me.
Cool. So let's talk about a little bit about you off stage. Like, what are some of the things you like to do?
I love movies. I'm a movie girl. I love going to the movies. I love watching movies. I love going to live shows, concerts, and stuff. I'm a very active girl. I like going to the beach. I like bike riding. I like bowling. Billy Clark, I don't know if you know who Big Billy Clark is. He's a manager out here. He manages Leon Thomas, who's also signed to my label. He does this trampoline dodgeball every other Monday night, and and it's really fun too. Yeah, I like doing active things.
So that's funny. That's cool. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, let's see, what you have coming up next. I know you have the single you dropped with Khalifa Don, which is cool. What else are you working on?
So I also released my EP, Paper Charade. It has a bunch of other songs on it too. I have an acoustic version of Dimes that I'm planning on shooting a video for really soon. Okay. I'm doing a lot of visuals. I'm doing a lot of covers. And I'm working on new music. I'm working on a lot of new music.
Awesome. Is there anybody in the industry right now that you would like to work with?
Absolutely. I would love to work with Iggy Azalea. I think that would be really, really dope. The Top Guns, I mean, it would be a dream to work with Drake. That would be so dope.
Drake? Why Drake?
I just love his album. His new album has just been like on replay in my car. I just love his he's so simple, but his stuff is so timeless.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I'm a big Drake fan. Yeah. Awesome. So I would like to work with him, and I would like to work with more rappers, honestly.
More
I like
rappers?
working with rappers. It's fun. Yeah.
All right. So what's some of the inspiration for the music that you have out now?
Well, definitely my life experiences. I call it the Taylor Swift syndrome.
The Taylor Swift syndrome. Okay.
the Taylor Swift syndrome, writing from your life experiences, exactly how they're happening. So, like, I wrote this song, Lotto, based on the fact that I really, really wanted money. So I'm like, you know what, let me just write a song as if I already had it, like, well, I won the Lotto, let me write that. Or songs about love, or Roxanne is a song on my EP, which is kind of like an alter ego kind of song. So I just write off of what I'm feeling at the moment. I always write truly. I don't really make up the things when I write new music.
So are you dating anybody right now?
I am not. I'm single. I was in a situation that didn't work out very well, so now I'm kind of just decided to stay focused and focus on myself. So it's hard dating in the industry too.
Yeah, tell me about it. But do you think that dating in New York is different than dating in Cali?
Absolutely. Guys in New York are 100 times better than guys in California. Sorry.
Oh, wow. How so?
Just from being out here and dating out here, the guys in New York, look, to be honest, I just feel like New Yorkers have a mentality of hustle, hard work, but a foundation. And I feel like people come to California, even me, to pursue something for themselves.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of people in California are in the industry, and they are struggling, and they are trying to do them. So you meet a lot of people that are just focused on themselves. And it's hard to even, be in a relationship with someone when they're on their grind. And in New York, it's they're on their grind, but it's like, I don't know, I just feel like there's just more stability. People that are in New York I feel like they just have their stuff together a lot more than guys out here.
Well, I'm actually not from New York. I'm in New York, but I'm a Southern girl, and I can definitely tell you, I think it's just different everywhere you go.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like New York guys, are way different than the guys in the South. So I guess, it varies by region, but, as long as you stay focused, I feel like in time you'll meet that right person. Because sometimes guys can be a distraction,
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's the thing out here, too, in California. Like, everybody's idea of, relationships and love is kind of skewed because, people date for status. People date for the wrong reasons out here a lot of the time. So it's kind of hard to weed out the real. It's kind of hard to weed out, are you dating me because I am with this camp, or are you actually really into me? It's really hard, actually.
That's so true. You're definitely on point, which is good. So, as long as you stay focused, like I said before, I think you'll be just fine. I'm so glad that you called in.
Thank you.
Awesome. So listen, thank you so much for the interview, and I will definitely be looking forward to seeing, what else you have in store for us.
Yeah, definitely more visuals and new music coming.
Awesome. So why don't you tell everybody how they can reach you?
So you can find my music on iTunes and on my website, officialvali.com, and I spell Vali, V-A-L-I. And my Instagram and my Twitter are both at Vali, V-A-L-I.